welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? That's why I do this show. To keep you informed, entertained, and maybe educate you a little bit. And that's why you watch the show. Because I'm all about education and information. Hopefully, this is the last week of bad weather. You know, it's cold. Yeah, it's some like 30s overnight. Crappy weather today out here. And we got the parade going on. Not good. But it's the first year, you know, I'm going to talk about it later in the show. We didn't have the St. Patrick's Day parade, the Ocean County, last year, so we got it this year. On a sad note, my buddy, Max the cat, passed away last Sunday. You see him in the screen there. We brought him over to Coastal Veterinary over on Route 37 there by Leo's Barbershop, who sometimes does my hair. Excellent service. They were still, observing COVID protocols. He sat outside. They brought the cat in. Unfortunately, Mac was suffering from leukemia. We got Mac 6 years ago. He's about 14, somewhere between 14 and 16 when he passed on. We got him about 6 years ago from my mother-in-law, and she passed on. Then my daughter took Max, and then COVID came, and my daughter Gina thought it would be wiser if we have Max down the shore, so he doesn't catch COVID. So Max actually became our cat down the shore here, as everybody ran away and came down to Seaside to stay away from the COVID. And Max had a good life. He was just recently cremated by Pet Rest in Seaside Heights, a great place for pet funerals. I highly recommend them. Also, I highly recommend Coastal Veterinary. Murphy has announced with the budget he is going to make New Jersey affordable. That's a big reach. Talking about rebates for homeowners and renters. What happened, I think, is they got a message in November. He just squeaked in there, Murphy, for a win for 4 more years. I think all the Dems in Trenton said, ooh, we got to change our game plan here. So all the seats are up next year. All the Assembly, all the Senate seats are up. So there's a new message in Trenton, and it's trying to make New Jersey affordable and trying to hold off the Republican Party. And we'll see what happens. We still have no baseball. As of this taping, anything is possible by the time the show airs. No baseball. Topics today, we're going to talk about the Ocean County Democratic Chairmanship. We keep talking about the Ocean County GOP one, but they're the Dem too. Gas prices, we'll go into that. And Lavalette, Seaside Heights Development, St. Patrick's Day Parade, and Verizon 5G service. We're going to break for commercial. We'll be right back.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, certified parts and service located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
We're back, Tom's River Show. Pat O Melia here. I was just informed I made a mistake with Pet Rest. Home for pet funerals and cremation is in Secaucus, New Jersey, on Castle Road. Actually, on Castle Road is where I worked twice. Back in the 70s, I worked there for Nelson Intermodal. It was all air freight. And then I got another job at Precon International, running their container yard. And it was in the same building. Horrible road to go down. Well, it isn't as bad as it was back when I worked down there, but could still use some pavement. Talk to Richie Ganelli. See if we can get some Mike Ganelli, actually, in Secaucus, maybe get some pavement there. But let's get the show going here. On this show, we always focus on the Ocean County Republican Party because they're the dominant party. We got, coming up in June, you got the somebody's going to face off for the chairmanship for the GOP here in Ocean County. Right now, it looks like Sheriff Mike Mastronardi will be the new head, but somewhere lurking back somewhere is George Gilmore, so we got to see how that plays out. Frank Holman is stepping down, and deservingly should step down. The entire Ocean County Republican Party, at least locally around here, is dysfunctional. Right from the Ocean County Commissioners, there's dysfunction there where we're always like elbow and kumbaya. Not anymore. Tom's River has 2 Republican clubs. So great job there by Frank Holman as he led the Ocean County GOP. But there is an Ocean County Democratic organization. You may not have known that. There's not many Dems down here. There was a gentleman, Wyatt Earp. Yes, he is a relative from the OK Corral, Wyatt Earps. Distant cousin, something of that nature. He's been the chairman, I guess about 16 years now. I spoke to him a couple of times. He's friendly with a friend of mine, the mayor of Jersey City, Steve Fulop. I spoke to Wyatt concerning Mayor Fulop years ago. Terrence Turnbuck, who was a Tom's River council person, Democrat. He lost the last election. Terrence was brought in with the wave of Democrats. 4 years ago, they swept all the ward seats with the exception of Maria Maruca. She won by about 208 votes, and of course, Maria is now no longer a council representative here in Tom's River. She didn't win again. Lamb beat her. But there was that wave of Democrats that came into Tom's River. That was like the high point of Democratic activity, I think, in Ocean County, period. But that was it. You had a wave came in, and the big issue back then, 4 years ago, as it is today, which helped Roderick and Lamb develop it. And it's still an issue today. And a bigger issue now is the revalve and the taxes, which will make for a very interesting race next year for mayor. It's going to be an interesting election season. You got the race for mayor in Tom's River. You got all the state seats are up. There will be a lot of people going to the polls. That could be good. That could be bad for Mo Hill here in Tom's River. It could be good. You got to see how this all plays out. But a lot of people will be going to the polls. Terrence Turnbuck is going to oppose Wyatt Earp to head up the Democratic Party in Ocean County. And he makes a good argument as to why you need some new blood in there. Like I said, I think Wyatt Earp has been the chair for about 16 years, and pretty much the only thing Wyatt can possibly, tip his hat to is that Democratic wave 4 years ago in Tom's River. Outside of that, the Democratic Party in Ocean County is non-existent. Jack Citarelli, took, I think, all but one district in Ocean County from Murphy. There is really basically no Democratic Party in Ocean County. And there are Democrats here. They just don't want to say they're Democrats. One of the things Terrence is talking about in his announcement that he's going to run for chair is, we shouldn't have to hide our political identities. But in Ocean County, if you want to be counted, you're going to have to be GOP. Like I said, when Jack ran in Ocean County, he took. I should probably research this a little bit, but I think he took all but one district in all of Ocean County. So if you're the head of the Ocean County Democratic Party, it's not a good sign for you. That's start writing your resignation out. Because as I said before, I don't think, with the exception of that wave in Tom's River a few years ago, the previous election cycle, there was anything that Wyatt Earp could hang his hat on. And it's really interesting. For me, as I'm a Jersey City guy, as most of you are in Tom's River, there's a connection somewhere or another to everybody in Tom's River to Jersey City. It's like the homeland up there. In Jersey City, Hudson County, it's all Democratic. But not as Democratic as it is Republican in Ocean County. There have been some wins by the Republican Party in Hudson County. Not a lot of them, but there have been some victories. For that matter, we actually had a Republican mayor in Jersey City, Brett Shunley. You probably remember the name. He ran the Department of Education for the state of New Jersey under Christie for about 5 minutes until him and Christie no longer got along. Yes, Brett Shunley was the mayor of Jersey City, probably, I guess about 9 years. Then he ran for governor in 2001. I think Brett won his first special runoff. Jerry McCann had to resign. I think that was the situation, as I'm going back on that, as mayor of Jersey City because of some activity that occurred when he wasn't the mayor. Brett won the special election. There were like 17 candidates for mayor. My friend Louis Manzo was one of them. Louis Manzo's over here in Monmouth County. And Brett stayed in office, won all his elections from 1992 to 2001. And he pretty much had a Democratic council, but he was able to work both sides of the aisle in Jersey City, but he was basically non-existent in Hudson County, and that gave rise to Bobby Januszewski. That also gave rise to Bobby Januszewski going off to jail. So there aren't a lot of Republicans in Hudson County, but we did have one spot, the biggest, the city and the county seat was held by a Republican for like 9 years. But for the Democratic Party in Ocean County, Mayor Barnes in Seaside Heights did endorse Governor Murphy for a re-election. But Murphy's been working pretty good with Seaside Heights, getting the money, so Tony Barnes really had no choice. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom Driver Show. I'll be right back.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Tom Driver Show, Pat O Melia here. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know how many registered voters there are in Ocean County, so it'll be interesting to see what Terrence does. Maybe I do an interview with him. We bring him in. I met him a few times, so we'll see what his stand's going to be, his platform, how he's going to get, 12 Democrats in Ocean County. How do you get them 12 to vote for you? As you might be aware, if you have an automobile or if you get heating oil or any kind of energy, the prices have gone up substantially in the last 10 days. But they've been going up for the last year. Last time I looked, coming in to quick check on 37, high test was $4.83. I use premium high test. That is an increase of at least 90 cents in the last 10 days, at least. I mean, every time I've ridden by, I just noticed it before the taping, you're seeing the prices creeping up. But those prices have been creeping up all year. And what the argument is now, they're saying, well, the problem with the fuel crisis is Russia and the Ukrainian conflict there. No, these prices have been going up steadily for over a year. Now, I go back and forth between the North Bergen studio and the Seaside studio. It gets pretty friggin' pricey, fuel-wise, especially. I don't have the most fuel-efficient. Actually, I got to get another car. I'm going to try to find something a little more fuel-efficient than my van or the Lincoln. Fuel-efficient for those two vehicles is about 12 miles a gallon or 18, so I should probably get something a little more fuel-efficient when I'm riding down between the two locations. Because and the tolls aren't any better either. We just jacked them up last year 37%, and they went up, I think, 3 or 4% this year. And as I said in last week's show, that's going to be a problem going forward for tourism here in Seaside Heights, and that is a big economic engine for Tom's River. Like I said, those people coming down Route 37 and Route 35 to Seaside Heights and Seaside Park, mostly Seaside Heights. Yeah, they're going to pay fuel, and they're going to pay those tolls. And if you're, a family, with 2, 3 kids, and you're looking at, the cost of going to Seaside Heights, coming out of North Bergen, do I go to Seaside Heights and pay the tolls and all that fuel, or do I stop at Sandy Hook, or do I stop at Point Pleasant? And there's a lot of beaches before you get to Seaside Heights, and the same thing coming up from the south. So this could be very detrimental to tourism here in Seaside Heights. It's detrimental to everything. Every business is affected by this. The price of fuel affects everything. Every product in the store you go to, every product that's delivered to your door, from whether it's Prime or FedEx or UPS or the post office, everything's going to go up. You're going to see emergency allocations from municipal governments to change their budget because of the expense of energy and fuel, gasoline in particular, and diesel fuel. Heating oil, that's up. Everything is up. Blaming the Ukraine-Russia military conflict is BS. Like I said, it's been going up since the last year. And Biden has now stopped any importing of Russian oil to the United States. Depending on what side you wanted to listen to, the Dems or the Republicans, it was either 3 or 4% of our total imported oil was from Russia. So cutting off Russia oil, which Biden did, is no big deal. We're talking 3 or 4%. If we just allow the energy industry here in the United States to go back full bore as they were, prior to Biden, I'm not going to sit here and knock Biden's energy plan, that green plan, the green dream, but it ain't working. During Trump, and that's all you got to mention. Trump, gets, well, Middlesex County, we don't get that upset about Trump. We were the largest exporter of oil. Fuel, it wasn't cheap, but it was affordable. A gallon of a barrel of oil. I got it here somewhere. I don't know why I write these things, because I jump all over the place. In 2019, a barrel of oil was $57. Today it was $125. So and this is just going exponentially up. But saying it's because of Russia is a lot of BS. Now, you have some Lukoil gas stations. We have one on Route 37. Newark has pulled the business license for their 2 Lukoil gas stations in Newark because of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. For that matter, I had texted Mo Hill and said, you got a Lukoil. I told him what was going on in Newark. The thing is, with the Lukoil gas stations, they don't have any Russian oil. They're getting their oil from Linden. Unless Linden is part of the Russian Empire, I don't think they're getting any Russian oil. That goes through Linden. Linden refines it. They put in whatever additives that Lukoil needs, and they ship it out. So to close these stations down, which are franchises, and Governor Murphy has indicated he's going to look into pulling their licenses, you're just going to put a bunch of Americans out of work and their franchisees, who I'm sure aren't Russian franchisees. They're probably Americans, so you're just going to hurt them. And, again, we put people out of work. We're just coming out of the COVID cloud. We're in a horrible inflation cloud that is killing businesses. It's amazing there are any small businesses around yet coming out of COVID and into this inflation. But, Murphy said with the fuel prices, and they have a good conscience in supporting Ukraine. And I have no problem being anti-war in Russia and Ukraine, is that New Jerseyans need to swallow hard and take it. No, we don't. See, wasn't long ago where those prices were down, not cheap, but affordable, and we were the #1 exporter of oil in the globe, as I understand it, with my limited research. I'm all for clean energy when it becomes available. We're going to put some wind farms out in the Atlantic. We're going to put solar here. That's not here yet. For that matter, we shouldn't close nuclear plants. That's completely clean energy. We're nowhere near this green dream. It's not available now, but oil and gas is, and it's affordable. I'm with you. Let's have clean energy when it is available at a reasonable price. You don't want to see your electric bill go up 10 times the price because of green energy. Like I said, I'm looking at my notes now. Look how this has jumped, $125 to $57 a barrel. Some say buy an electric car. That's great. You have a hard time paying the gasoline, you're going to buy an electric car? That's like telling a homeless person, hey, you should buy a house. The saying to buy an electric car isn't the answer. And actually, electric cars aren't that reliable. The technology is, but the cars themselves aren't. All right, let's break for commercial. You're watching the Tom Rivers Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back, Tom Rivers Show. Again, I would like to drive an electric car to see what it's like. If you subscribe on YouTube to Scotty Kilmer, and I think Scotty Kilmer is the biggest YouTube personality on the streaming network YouTube. He does all automotive. And he was talking about the switch over to electric cars. If all the cars in California tomorrow became electric, they would need like 2.3 million charging stations to maintain the California cars. That's a lot of charging stations. We have nothing like that anywhere with that kind, not just California. We don't have an electrical grid for that. We don't know how to dispose of these batteries. And these batteries are pretty damn big. On a Tesla, I think it's a Model 3 I was looking at, there are 2 batteries in there. These 2 batteries are somewhere like combined 4,000 pounds. I'm not even know if it's safe. I was in Bill Spady on his show, that somebody called in who delivers batteries to gas stations. They have to have the plackets on their sign. You got acid carrying batteries. May need to have that on Tesla cars because you got 4,000 pounds of batteries in there. Get an accident there, and also the batteries are damn expensive. You have to replace them too. I don't think we're ready for that. I think it's a nice little niche, but we're not ready for this green dream yet. And probably won't be in my lifetime or maybe even my children's lifetime. But somewhere down the line, it will be. My experience with solar, we got solar lights all around my kid's house. If we don't have much sun, we don't have much solar lights at the nighttime. And it's no difference with the green dream with the solar and the wind. That technology is not there yet, so let's not jump away from proven technology. And it's becoming cleaner. Natural gas is burning cleaner. These cars are far cleaner than they were even 10 years ago. It's not like my 64 Dodge out there. There's all sorts of environmental controls on these new cars. But let's go to quick hits. Lavalette. Lavalette is feeling the sting of short-term rentals. And what I mean by the sting, it's a good moneymaker, short-term rentals, during the season here. But in other cities like Jersey City, the homeland, they had to put in a regulation limiting the short-term rentals because that was becoming a booming economy up in Jersey City, and it was actually breaking up neighborhoods. People were selling their homes to people who just wanted to do short-term rentals. What Lavalette is going to do, they're going to pass an ordinance that will mandate short-term stays will be of 7 days. You're going to have to register your home as a short-term rental place, and this will be mandated from May the 15th to September the 15th. This way the town knows who's renting and where these rentals are. And what Lavalette is concerned about, as the short-term market, especially on the shore and the Barrie Islands go, people are coming down. They're making investments. They're buying old houses, knocking it down. They're building new houses, building houses on the business strip. And you're taking away what was a 12-month-a-year community, and it's becoming a very seasonal community, kind of what Seaside Heights is, where you got Mayor Vaz is trying to bring it back to a 12-month-a-year community, whereas now, after Columbus Day, it's a ghost town in Seaside Heights until around April or so. Lavalette fears that may be what their future is if they can't somehow rein in the short-term rentals. Because people are buying the homes. Yeah, right now you got a great real estate bubble. People in Lavalette are selling their homes to these people who want to use it for short-term rentals during the off-season. And they'll make good money doing that during the off-season and just, seal up the house for the winter. So, and also there's construction. There's a lot of construction going on in Lavalette as there is in Seaside Heights. Every block there's a new house going up in Seaside Heights. For that matter, my next topic here is construction and development. In Lavalette, they're going to put an ordinance in limiting the noise from construction, evening hours, on weekends and all, because there's that much construction that it becomes a quality of life issue. Speaking of development and construction, in Seaside Heights, there is a buku amount of development and construction going on there. Like I said, every block pretty much has construction going on. And on the boulevard, there is going to be a ton of it coming up. The steel skeleton is gone. They just announced 5 motels are being knocked down. The Belmont's going. Coral Sand is going. There's already the Quality Inn at the end of town is going. 5 are definitely, 2 more are on the track to being sold to become condominiums. There's land behind, I'm thinking of a motel, it might be the Atlantic. They're going to build condominiums around, but where they're building a lot of this is on parking lots. On 33 Hamilton Avenue, they're going before the board in Seaside Heights to build condominium. They're building it on a parking lot, which is almost the Jersey City playbook. Maybe Seaside Heights found it. We have a tremendous amount of construction going on in Jersey City and have been. Most of it is on parking lots. In Jersey City, we have very few municipal parking lots or private parking lots because there's no demo involved. You can get in there, build your condom, your high-rise, and off you go. I've argued with the mayor of Jersey City constantly about the lack of municipal parking and parking for residents of Jersey City. I mean, it gets worse and worse on a daily basis. Where my studio is in North Bergen, township of North Bergen, had more municipal parking than the city of Jersey City. Mayor Sacco and his parking utility are always looking for another parking lot. There don't have to be, 50 spots. Sacco is happy to give a quality of life to his neighborhood if he can open a 10-car lot, a 12-car. Amazingly different. Now, I live in the Heights in Jersey City. We're riding around the block constantly. Back in 2000, I convinced the city to put a parking lot on my block. And fortunately, I'm one of the guys with a permit there since 2000. As I said earlier, Ocean County, it is the St. Patrick's Day parade. The luck of the Irish. The luck of the Irish isn't working out weather-wise, but that doesn't hold these people back anyway. It's a big event here in Seaside Heights. You got the parade on the boulevard. You got all the businesses. Every bar in Seaside Heights is a St. Patrick's Day headquarters. So once you watch the parade, and it's a big parade, it's probably one of the better ones in the state. Go up on the boardwalk, stop at Keeley's, Riggers, wherever you want. Have a good time, just don't overdo it. And for people in Toms River and Seaside Heights and the Barrie Island, 5G service is now available. It is available in Seaside Heights in select locations. Hopefully one of those locations will include my studio. I checked today, it is not here yet. Check with Verizon. Tremendous broadband, upload and download. I'm only interested in upload. And it's one box. It's your Fios, it's your broadband, it's the whole 9 yards, and it's far cheaper than who you're dealing with now. All right, I'm out of the show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.